Hello, I'm Dr. Bornali Das, and today I'm going to speak on the guidelines of managing people of disabilities. So, as we know, disability is a big area, and a lot of people are being affected from very infant stage to the later part in life. So, it's a quite a lifespan disorder. So, we will go into details, starting from what the impact of COVID psychological impact in amongst the people with disabilities. So to say that the children or those people, those who are having different kind of disabilities, they feel helpless, they have a lot of fears inside their mind, they feel lonely, or they might also feel like those who are having job, they might also lose job. So as we know, COVID is such a virus that it is invisible. And so the fear is more because we do not know who is our enemy. Secondly, fear is being left alone, fear of not cared at this point of time when care is most essential, especially for the elderly population, where they expect that they are being cared by their children. Now they are not able to come because of the lockdown kind of situation. Fear of financial loss, frustration not being able to be independent, frustration not being able to get physical comforts of touch and feel, and even the essential items. That also is another difficulty for disabled people because they just can't go freely outside to the grocery store to get the things. They have to depend on others, and the dependent member is even more in fear because they are not being able to supply the things. So there are a lot of things that is a threat for the persons with disability. Loss of treatment facilities, loss of care facilities, loss of income opportunities. So these are different kind of fears amongst the people with disability. So to understand what is disability? Persons with disability means a person with long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairment, which is in interaction with the barriers, hinders his full and effective participation in society equally with others. Persons with benchmark disability that means a person with not less than 40% of a specified disability, where specified disability is defined as measurable terms and include a person with disability, which is a measurable term of around 40%, to certify from a certifying authority. Just to give you an example, like with intellectual disability, a person has to be more than 40%. Person has to be assessed more than 40% to call it as disability. Like that, even with mental illness, a person with more than 40% of disability will be given the certificate as well as the benefits of the certificate. There are different types of disability. Initially, we had 7 till 2016. In 2016, this act got amended, and it's now we are covering 21 disability. 21 types of disability. So physical disability, that is locomotor disability, is a person's inability to execute distinctive activities associated with movement of self and objects resulting from affliction of musculoskeletal or nervous system or both, including leprosy cured, persons with cerebral palsy, dwarfism, muscular dystrophy, and acid attack. Visual impairment includes blindness and low vision. Hearing impairment includes deaf and hard of hearing. Speech and language disability is also included. Intellectual disability, that is a condition characterized by significant limitation both in intellectual functioning, reasoning, learning, and problem solving, and in adaptive behavior, which covers a range of everyday social and practical, including specific learning disabilities and autism. Types of disabilities, there are more types of disability like mental behavior or mental illness, in which schizophrenia, OCD, bipolar affective disorder, and dementia is being covered. Disability due to chronic neurological conditions like multiple sclerosis and Parkinsonism is also covered. Blood disorder, hemophilia, thalassemia, and sickle cell disease also is covered under disability. Multiple disabilities, more than one of the above specified disability, including deaf or blindness, which means a condition which a person may have combination of hearing and visual impairment along with intellectual disability, causing severe communication, developmental, and educational problems, also will be covered under the Disability Act. Comprehensive disability includes guidelines during the COVID-19 pandemic. It has been seen that in this COVID-19, their ministry is coming ahead, and Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has issued a comprehensive disability inclusive guidelines. So as health workers, we need to go in details regarding this. To all the states, union territories for protection and safety of persons with disabilities, that is begun in light of pandemic of the COVID-19. No doubt that COVID-19 is affecting the entire population, but persons with disabilities are more vulnerable to the disease due to the physical, sensory, and the cognitive limitation. Some of the measures which need to be acted upon by the various state districts or authorities to be given focused in the protection and the safety of this person with disabilities and during the COVID-19 are as follows. Like all the information of the COVID-19 services offered precaution to all the persons should be available in simple language and in local language accessible format, such as braille audible tapes or for the visually impaired, videographic materials with subtitles and sign languages interpretation of the person with hearing impairment and through accessible websites. All persons responsible for handling emergency response services should be trained on the right to persons with disability and on risk associated with the additional problem for the persons with the specific impairments. During quarantine, essential support service, personal assistance, and physical and communication accessibility should be ensured. Caregivers of persons with disabilities should be allowed to reach the persons with disabilities by exempting him from the restrictions during the lockdown or providing passes in a simplified manner for the persons with disabilities. Persons with disabilities should also be given access to essential food, water, medicine, and the extent possible, such items should be delivered at their residence and or in the place where they are being quarantined. The states as well as union territories may consider opening the hours in retail provision of stores, including the supermarkets for persons with disabilities and older persons, for ensuring easy availability for the daily requirements. Persons with disabilities should be given priority in treatment, special care to be taken for children and women with disabilities. Online counseling mechanisms should be provided to de-stress the persons with disabilities as well as their families to cope with the quarantine period. 24/7 helpline number at the state levels has been set up exclusively by Divangyan with facilities of sign language interpretation as well as video calling. Activities for managing the adults with multiple disabilities at home. So first and foremost, having planned regular routine is suggested for persons with disabilities, which can incorporate various home and vocational activities according to their capacity and keep them active in the monotony and engaging from various activities. Certain home tasks they can be engaged in, like physical exercise such as yoga, tea preparation, folding of clothes, cleaning the activities, cleaning the place, watering, and playing games like Ludo, Carom, or cutting the vegetables with supervision, etc. Certain vocational tasks can be incorporated like feeding animals, home gardening, hand embroidery, mirror painting, computer typing activities. These activities can be planned out in a manner that certain tasks are kept from the morning, some in the noon, and some in the evening. And this will make the routine less haphazard and more simple and understandable for the person. Instead of putting in a hour to hour basis, it is better to be morning half, noon half, and evening. So to teach them proper hand washing and wash their hands from time to time with hand soap or sanitizers. So managing the children with developmental and intellectual disabilities during the lockdown. To keep it in mind that the time of having food and sleeping is not changed. The responsibility of taking care of the child can be divided among the family members. A daily schedule should be planned out in a way that is simple and predictable, such as brushing the teeth or having the breakfast on time. If they are with any changes, the child could be informed. If there are any changes, we should inform them in advance, hands especially the children with autism, and many of them have difficulties in adjustment the changes and the routines. Various activities of daily living can be included, such as brushing teeth, dressing, eating, going out to toilet in their daily activities, and also include hand washing from time to time. During this lockdown, children can be engaged in developing their basic skills, like breaking them into small steps of brushing the teeth, and or it could be like while painting they can understand the primary colors, then they can understand they can make an outline, and then they can fill up the color in a paint, or they could be also taught about different kind of paintings. They should be taught about the activities, and they should be allowed to implement as per their convenience. They can be taught in various ways, such as verbal prompts or physical prompts or gestures. So activities should be regular and include leisure activities also. As per the abilities of the child, let him be engaged or in household activities such as filling up water in the bottles, sorting vegetables, arranging the plates and glass for the dinner, or setting up the dining table. Incorporate something sort of physical activity for the child and give free play time with them. Managing challenging behaviors of children with special needs during the lockdown. When a child engages in problems, they should try to keep themselves calm and gently indicate them towards the appropriate behavior and reward them. To use more positive statements indicating what to do and what not to do, and they should be allowed to being seated instead of saying that you can't go out, you can't do this. Instead of using more negative words, it should be you can, but do it in this way. Incorporating physical demands activities for the child, such as walking, exercise, so that the child remains busy. Teaching the child to point out the things required in place of displaying the problem behavior. Try to handle the problematic behaviors with patience and let the child be calm down and they trying to know the problem. Most importantly, understanding in what context the problem behavior is occurring. Enhancing social skills and communication is equally important for persons with disabilities. Teaching the children greeting skills like hello, namaste, then when they are familiar person, and then to say, like when it is over, to say bye, and when the person leaves their home, and they can be taught by using the verbal cues. The child can be practiced to say thank you, excuse me, or can I do, or can I help in a polite manner. Teaching the child the aspect of sharing toys, eatables with his or her siblings is important to be taught. Ask the child for the toy which she loves playing, and after the child gives, praise him and or her for doing so, which will further encourage to continue this activity. To have food with other members of the family, will be allowed the child to be in the company of others and also know to wait patiently for their turn of getting the food. Use pictorial and physical demonstration while teaching the child. Try to involve in the household chores and assist the parent, which allows room for communication. Thank you so much. These are the references. You can go back, read by yourself, and also take the guidelines from the various sites which has been uploaded. Thank you.